Good morning, everybody. Oh my gosh, we've been having so much fun here this morning, and I am really looking forward to talking with all of you. The first thing I want to do is, I know that some people that are going to be watching this have never met me before. And so a little bit of who I am, where I'm coming from, why I'm doing this is in order, I think, this morning. Like most of you here, I'm a mom, I am a wife, I am so many different labels, and not the least of which is I'm a coach. And I've learned a lot from experience. Unfortunately, it takes the longest to teach, but it creates some of the most powerful lessons. And in terms of one of my most powerful teachers, when I was in high school, I didn't particularly do well in math, and it was not my favorite subject. So I thought of myself as a bimbo. That was a word I actually used to describe myself. The theater and the music did a great job for covering that up, but that's kind of how I felt. And so I had always thought about going into the Marines, and I did after I graduated from high school. One of my first ahas was when I took the ASVAB. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's the Armed Service Vocational Aptitude Battery. And it is supposed to tell you what you're really good at. I remember walking out of there and grabbing onto my recruiter and saying, okay, what do I do with the rest of my life? That's how I felt. And he looked at me and he goes, what are you talking about? You're a Cat 1. You can do whatever you want to. Well, that didn't help at all. On to the Marines. I'm in boot camp, and I was never good at PE. Now I find myself a squad leader, and I know that the people behind me are going to run over my sorry little ass if I don't move. So I found out that the only blocks were in my mind. Things that I thought I couldn't do, that I thought I wasn't good at, were all up here. Hi, Karen. And that was kind of where I was coming from. And that began the nudge of my coaching career. And I've taught music, and anybody that knows when you're working with singers, this instrument right here, you can't put it down like you can a violin or walk away from it like the piano. And so too many people associate it with who they are. And there was a lot of coaching and inner soul work associated with that. So about 15 years ago, I got seriously started in coaching. And since then, I've been through a number of different programs, and this latest one has been really kind of exciting. I hope you excuse the lighting. The window is my view outside here, but the sun is providing extreme light, and I look like a ghost. And right now, I just kind of look ruddy, and that's because I have red curtains. So that's what's going on. In the last year, I've refocused my practice to work as a guide for women entrepreneurs who are looking to be everything that they can be for their families and their community, and create the successful business that they're looking for. And should you be inclined, if you have questions, please put them in the comments below, and I will get to them. Probably not today, or not right now, because we're trying to keep this a little bit shorter. Here's a few questions. How many of you feel like your bank account could use a boost? I know mine does. It always does. It's that song More, More, More from, I can't remember the name of it, Dick Tracy. And then how many of you feel like your relationships would benefit from being stronger or healthier? Now, that may be a relationship with yourself. It could be a relationship with your children. It could be a relationship with your business. It could be a relationship with your spouse. And everything that we encounter and bring into our lives is a relationship with that. And how many, this is a bigger one, how many of you are ready to expand your business, regardless of what you're doing? I know we're all alike because we come from families that have done everything that they knew how in the moment to provide and for the success of the family relationship, the children, that kind of thing. And the reason I'm here today is because it's time for women to step up and shine in their brilliance, to be everything that they can. And the idea of having a 2020 vision just seemed to me to be the perfect timing to cross over and start doing the Facebook Live, more of the YouTube videos, more of the training online, so that I can interact with a wider piece of the world and get to know more of you on a personal basis, because we are all connected, and what happens to you in some way happens to me, and I very firmly believe that. Too many women have struggled with the transition from giving everything out of the goodness of their heart and the desire to see your children grow and be successful. As a nurturer, you're giving it all away. And trying to make that transition from, I need to give that to them for their success, to, I have value, and in the business arena, I can actually charge. Oh my gosh, I can talk about money. Now, some of you may not relate to that particular aspect. Some of you are really comfortable talking about money, but I didn't grow up that way. It wasn't me. It wasn't my family. And so I'm really excited to be able to bring this to people. The reason this is a problem is the example that we're setting for the children, and especially the young girls. Okay, there are still young girls out there who don't believe in themselves, don't believe that they can, don't believe that they're smart enough, don't believe that they're good enough, don't believe that they deserve. I see it every day. And it just, it saddens me and it frustrates me, because I want them to own, yes, I am. Yes, I can. Whatever it is, if that's what I want to do, I can. And they just, I see the light start, and then the very next activity, the light dims. And that's where our being the example and doing more and being more of what we're supposed to be in this world is important. And that's what I'm very passionate about that. The good news is, once you have a strategy for knowing what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and most importantly, why you're doing it, it all starts to fall into place. And without any of those, we can wander. We can have the squirrel syndrome, as I call it, or the BSO, which is a bright, shiny object. Ooh, look, oh, wow. The next program, the next thing, it has to do, Adam Urbanski, one of my favorite people, talks about when you create a niche, you go deep and then let it go wide. And it will go wide of its own volition when you're an expert, and when, excuse me, get a little drink of water here. Plastic straw, not disposable. what was I saying? Oh yeah, and Adam talks about the niche and marketing your business, and those kinds of things are really important. So for years, I've struggled with the money issues, charging too much in my perception, really understanding the value of the services that I bring to the table. And I've heard it from coaches a number of times, whether it was not charging enough for my writing, performing, coaching, I just never felt comfortable because it wasn't in the mom mode. That just didn't make sense. And that approach came through a long line of history and tradition. Between Paul's stroke, and he's doing okay, and a realization of my own mortality, I knew that when the very last moment comes, I want to cross over with confidence, knowing that I have done every single thing. And if I'm still alive, there's more to do. And that's kind of where I'm coming from. At that moment, I began to take steps to turn it around, and from that time to this, things have been getting better, and I've been having a whole lot more fun. However, because we existed in that patriarchal society for generations where women were expected to keep silent or be submissive, as I mentioned earlier, we wanted the success for our spouses and our children to the extent that we gave everything up to make that happen. The ability to take ownership of our self-worth and our financial future suffered. These 3 secrets, so get to the meat of some of what I want to share with you here today. These 3 secrets are what I like to call the Power C Triad. The triad's made up of choice, of clarity, and of communication. Take any one of those things out, and you are guaranteed to struggle. Starting with choice, we've heard about this over and over. Whether you're an aficionado of The Secret or the Law of Attraction, the Bible, to whom much is given, much is expected, ask and ye shall receive. If you have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, you can move the mountain. So it's been around forever, but we're not comfortable, because if I have the choice, I could have been in a different place. And so we end up with shame and regret and dealing with those kinds of things. And it's a hard pill to swallow sometimes until we learn that we've been forgiven, so get on with it, forgive yourself, and embrace the time that you have. Otherwise, you're just keeping creating more of the same thing. So when you understand the power of choice, you have control over your life through those choices. This includes your response to every single event that happens. Somebody says something to you. Somebody cuts you off on the road. Road rage is a choice, folks. I don't care what you want to call it. Waking up late because you hit snooze on your alarm. That was a choice. You kept your alarm clock way too close to your bed to encourage you to get out of bed. All of those kinds of things are choices that we make. And those are the simple ones. Your unique gifts and the power to communicate your needs with others, your wants and desires, when you choose to do those things, magic happens. And you'll find magic in the ordinary, in the everyday things. That's the beauty. Albert Einstein said, I think it was him, that it said we can either choose to see everything as a miracle or nothing as a miracle. And I prefer the everything side of it. This choice ties in with the clarity of being clear who you are, why you're here, what you're doing, why is your business in existence. All of that clarity affects every single activity, including our own thoughts. Your thoughts that you're sitting there thinking right now, whether it's she's on target, she's way off the mark, whatever it is, that's your choice, and it's part of your clarity of who you are and why you're here. It's tied in with your beliefs and your history, your tradition, all of those kinds of things. And so that's the second C. So we've got the choice. We've got the choice to make magic, to make 2020 the best year ever by looking at every activity as at least a learning experience, and at best, and oh my gosh, is this not the coolest thing? Then the other piece that I want to say is, I know a lot of this can seem overwhelming. Just to say that it's your choice, and you just have to be clear. Well, those in their essence are really simple. But in a few weeks, we're going to have an opportunity to really get to the depth of your why and your brand and understand everything that affects your business and your life. We're going to be doing a session on branding with archetypes. If you're interested, please put it in the comments and I'll make sure that you get the information. And we'll be talking about that some more in the next couple of weeks too. It'll allow you to identify your unique brilliance and bring that to your business, focusing on your gifts and your talents. The last C is communication. Speak up sooner when you need to. Be more clear when you're talking. Make sure that you're being understood. Ask more questions. The thing I've well, thank you for that, Karen. I don't know exactly why. She said my volume is kind of going in and out. We'll see what I can do about it, and potentially put the information in a actual post so that you can read the transcripts of it if when I check this video out it really stinks. But we'll make sure that everything's working ultimately. But these three, choice, clarity, and communication, if those are the only things that you perfected this year, 2020 would be amazing. So I challenge you to really look at every choice that you make, every why that's going on, and every piece of communication. Oh, and as a tidbit, do not trust texting or email or any kind of electronic emoji to tell the story that you think it's supposed to tell. That doesn't happen that way, and we've all seen it dozens of times. So I'm really grateful that you joined me here this morning, and I look forward to seeing you again next time with the next topic, which I really have no idea what we're going to be talking about. But if this gave you some clarity on the how and the why, if you were reminded of something that, oh yeah, I knew that, then it's been a good day. So thank you again so much, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks. Bye.